Well, while I'm working with it, I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Welcome to HO Power Training. Okay, welcome back, guys. Big step from what I've been doing lately. As you know, I've been working on trying to tie my main line into. Well, I cut myself short this week and I didn't have any more road bed to finish up the main line. So completely bust for probably another 4 days, 5 days until I get the shit in. But that gave me a chance on getting on to doing some road work. Yep, it's a mess, but don't worry about the outer, guys. That's a lot of spillage I had when I was learning how to do this again. My technique is, yeah, as you can see, it's messy, but it will clean up. But we got straight lines, and we can tell this is a road, as you can see. Okay, so I gotta come in and touch up and do a lot more other things to this little road. And as you know, I want my roads to be preferably grippy, but smooth, so I can ride around my little RC cars I'm gonna have coming for this thing. Okay, so getting onto roads. How do I do them? Well, you're gonna think I do them with drywall, but you're gonna be sadly mistaken. You can see how drywall shrinks, as you can see over time, and it's cracks. Yeah, you can do things to make this work, such as drywall, but for me, as a road, a drywall is not something that I preferably want to do. I wanted to keep it realistic, but on the cheap side of things. So I know you're pulling your hair out wanting to know how I made it. Let's get on to it. Paris of plaster, real easy to use, guys. It's cheap, it's easy, you can find this in any one of your stores. Plaster of Paris, again, is cheap and it beats Smooth It for me, okay? I don't know why people buy Smooth It when you can just use plaster of Paris. I don't know. Some people's gonna, again, that's a hot debate. Some people are gonna say, well, you know, Smooth It is made for it. Well, guess what? This shit, you can do all kind of shit with this. Now, my technique on laying this is, you can see in here, I mix it sort of like a concrete mixture, as you can see. If I can stir it around for you, I'll show you. You can see how it's more like a concrete. It's kind of thick, but it's starting to sit. It was a little thinner than that. But again, it's like working with concrete on a small scale, guys. Of course, you got to tape it off with your double-sided tape. Walmart, Dollar Tree, wherever you can find this stuff. There's another things that I'm missing with my formula to show you. In fact, I'm gonna show you right now. I use, on plaster of Paris, I use white glue. I mix in black, a little white, and a little gray. Those three mixtures, along with the Paris of plaster mix with a good consistency, you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyway, I mix all that, what I just showed you, the glue, the paint, and everything in it. And the glue is gonna keep it from cracking. It's gonna give it some flexibility. And the paint is going to, as you can see, it's different colors because different parts are wet. And it's gonna give it a more realistic look without painting. And I have to go in and weather and do what I gotta do, but that's what I'm gonna do. Again, that's how I build my roads, guys. I'm gonna get some video of me showing you how to do it, but I was rusty and I made a little mess while I was doing. I gotta go back, clean up some tracks and brush some stuff and just kind of clean up this general area to show you how I do my roads. Another thing with plaster of Paris is a big thing. It sets quick. Again, it's like concrete. It's like working with concrete. This stuff is, you gotta skim it, okay? And it will shrink, it'll fall through. Drywall is, people use it, you know, they may not have no problems now, but in the future, you could have cracking issues. But hey, some people might want cracking issues. You know, instead of putting their cracks on their roads, they'll actually have a real crack, as you can see it's here. I don't know. I just don't like using drywall for my roads. Maybe one day I'll do a couple of spots with it, but as of now, I love my plaster of Paris. It works well for this. So before I get out, you can see, such as in here, how I had to build up the middle of those tracks to kind of give it a straight transition over to each track without, if you have in a real life, you know, you're not gonna have no huge dips such as the outer part of this track. Now, I poured it all in one so you can see the outer part of this track going down so far. Some, you know, in real life you'll have that, but I don't like that huge transition, so I'm gonna have to build some tapering forms, and that's probably gonna be out of wood. I'm gonna reshoot another skim coat of plaster once I get that worked in. So I'm gonna get that more of a transition better. Here's not that bad because the tracks are flat. You can see how it's perfect transition from there to here because there's no road bed on it. And then again, we have that huge ugly transition. I mean, it will work, but I preferably don't like it on my layout. I'm gonna give it more of a transition because in real life, you know, yeah, again, you're gonna have that, but I don't know, I just don't like it. As you can see, every layout needs a main street, correct? And Main Street runs directly in the middle of your damn layout or wherever your main street's gonna be. For mine, it's gonna be in the middle of my layout, okay? So we have to get a nice transition from this part. You see how I'm starting to curve already to go out into here and curve back again. So Flex Track is gonna help me with that. So I pinned it on this area already. So I'm gonna go ahead and swoop it in to where it straightens out, which is about right there. And that looks basically like the form of my main street, the way I want it to be. So let's see. Make sure we get it the way we want it with, which should be right. Yeah, right there. And I'm gonna be marking that. So mark it like this. Boom, done. Okay, so this is another phase of it. Of course, y'all see me start to lay this tape, and I went ahead and ran about 1, 2, 3, a little over, about 4 foot of road, including this. So we have a splice here, but that's fine. I'm gonna blend it in. I'm gonna show you how to do that. Roads are not perfect. As you can see down here, we are setting up very well, just like concrete, guys. Okay, so I want to do this in one pour. So before I start pouring, I want to address this is transition, what we talked about. You can see how it's high here. I'm gonna leave this one alone because I like that, like it's entering for now. So it's gonna come up, levels off perfectly, and it's huge dive where a truck, a car, or something will hang up here, and then it flattens out. That's, you know, raised tracks are perfect for that. It gives it a bad look when it's like that. Coming into town right here, where they're gonna have a stop sign or red lights and crossings and all, that's just bad on the adjacent cars, you know. Hell, we could have a lawsuit. So to do that, I got me one of these little sticks here, and you can see how I carved out the popsicle stick. Now this is a stick you can get from Walmart. It's like $2 a pack, okay? And you gotta fit it, the form, just like you're pouring concrete in real life. So it's going to fit right up against what I did. And you can see how it should transition perfect. Might have a sand, in fact, it's dead on. Okay, so let's get 2 mocked up like that. Okay, that's it. Come see. Perfect. So when you're doing your model railroad, folks, don't rush things. You know, that's the reason for a railroad. You know, you gotta take your time with it. You can't build it in all in one day, or in a month, or weeks, whatever. You know, it's no rush. And what's the rush? What's the big freaking deal, huh? I know, you want to run trains on the way off. Yeah, me too. Ain't no freaking rush. All right. So added detail on my HO layout and my roads here. I come back after it sits for quite a while, probably around 2 hours. You can come on the inside. Of course, as you know, you have to give your rails optimal clearance, at least on the inside, such as in here, so your train wheel don't detract when it hits your rail, okay? But to give it more of a realistic look, the outer, you know, some folks just pour and let it hit the rail on the outer. But a more realistic look when it sits, just grab you a finishing nail, go right up against it and push down against the rail a couple of times on the outside, drag it 2 or 3 times until you get that passageway clear also. So again, it's an added feature and a bonus detail look for your layout. As you can see, it just gives it more detail. Of course, the more detail, the better it looks. When you're done, if it has a little bit of stuff in it, you just grab your little brush. Don't push hard, just slowly sweep it away. You know, just like that. All right, folks, this is day 2 of roads, all compiled into this one video. And we're still a little damp, but it's pretty much set up and dried. That's the finished product. As you can see, no painting, but we may have to go back and weather the road a little bit, but that's gonna be no problem. So what I'm gonna do today, and I'm gonna show you how to mix with the plaster of Paris and pour this road. So let's get mixed on this road first, and then come into here and pour. Things first is our plaster here. We're gonna pour, so we need quite a bit. Doesn't matter if I waste it, this stuff is cheap anyway. It's not like we're buying smooth it and, you know, spending more money on something. So that's what we're gonna go with. Stir it up. This should do it. Like that. Some gray. I'm just shooting it from the hip, guys, and a little bit of white. Give me some glue now. So the glue is what holds it all together. That should be enough. See how we get in the gray? I'm gonna shoot down the middle first. Okay. One here. Actually, it took it all. That's why I mixed this enough. It's going to take it all. So we won't be able to do our turnout. We won't be able to do our inclines in this video, guys, because I'm trying to wrap the video up and just trying to show you. So it's wet. It went on sloppy, but it's okay. Let's go ahead and pull it from the back part. Don't worry about over dragging, it don't matter. Just clean that up when we're done. We didn't go with enough gray, but it's okay, we have to repaint. Butt it up here. So we got some clumps in it, and the clumps, what it does, it gives it trouble on spreading. So get a paper towel. There we go. That's it. We'll call it good. Now we're going to clean this up. Alrighty guys, Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.